There is a tiredness that comes from trying to make everything perfect, from believing that your life, your work, your appearance, your relationships must all be flawless before they can be good enough, before you can be good enough. And so you polish and adjust and correct, always finding something that needs improvement, always seeing what is wrong instead of what is right. And this pursuit does not lead to satisfaction, it leads to exhaustion. Because perfection is not a destination you can reach, it is a moving target that ensures you will never arrive. Never rest. Never feel that what you have, that who you are, is sufficient. Welcome to the quiet path. This is a space where we step back from the demands and expectations that the world places upon us, where we sit with what is difficult, where we remember that there is a different way of seeing, a way that does not measure worth by flawlessness but by authenticity, by presence, by the acceptance of things as they are. Here, we do not strive for impossible standards. We simply look honestly at what is real and find the beauty that exists there, not in spite of imperfection, but because of it. And today, we are exploring an understanding that comes from Japan, an understanding that has the power to change how you see everything. It is called Wabi-Sabi, and it teaches that imperfection is not something to fix, it is something to honor. You have been taught to hide your flaws, to present only the best version of yourself, to make sure everything looks right before anyone sees it. Your home must be clean and organized. Your work must be polished and impressive. Your body must meet certain standards. Your life must appear successful. And when things fall short of this, when the imperfections show, you feel shame, you feel inadequate, you believe you have failed. But what if this entire way of thinking is wrong? What if the pressure to be perfect is not protecting you, but harming you? What if the flaws you are trying to hide are actually what make you real? Wabi-Sabi is not easy to translate. It is not a single concept, but a way of seeing. Wabi speaks to the beauty of simplicity, of things that are humble and unadorned, of finding richness in what is plain. Sabi speaks to the beauty of age, of things that have been marked by time, that show wear and weathering, that carry the evidence of their existence. Together they form an aesthetic, a philosophy that celebrates impermanence, imperfection, and incompleteness, not as flaws to be corrected, but as essential qualities of life itself. In traditional Japanese culture, this understanding is visible everywhere. In the tea ceremony, where the most prized bowls are often those that are asymmetrical or have cracks that have been repaired with gold. In gardens, where natural elements are arranged to look as though they grew that way on their own, without human interference. In pottery, where the glaze is allowed to pool unevenly, where the clay shows the marks of the artist's hands. These are not mistakes, they are intentions. They are deliberate choices to honor what is real, instead of pursuing what is impossible. The West has a different tradition. It values perfection, symmetry, control, newness. And this creates a constant pressure to make everything look flawless, to hide aging, to erase mistakes, to present a version of life that is curated and controlled. And this pressure extends to everything: your appearance, your home, your work, your social media. Your entire existence becomes a performance of perfection. And the cost is profound. Because you can never relax, you can never simply be. You are always managing how things look, always worried about what others will think, always exhausted from maintaining an image that is not real. Consider how much energy you spend trying to hide imperfection, how much time goes into making sure everything appears just right, how much anxiety arises when something does not meet your standards or when someone might see the parts of your life that are messy or unfinished. And notice how this does not bring peace. It brings stress, because the standard you are trying to meet is not achievable. And even when you come close, even when things look good for a moment, you cannot enjoy it. You are already looking for the next flaw, the next thing that needs fixing, the next way you are falling short. Wabi-Sabi invites you to release this, not by lowering your standards, not by becoming careless or sloppy, but by changing what you value. By learning to see beauty in what is real instead of only in what is perfect, by understanding that the crack in the bowl is part of its story, that the worn edge of the table speaks to the meals shared there, that the lines on your face are evidence of years lived, that the mistakes you have made are part of what has shaped you, and that none of this needs to be hidden or fixed, it simply needs to be accepted. There is a practice in Japan of repairing broken pottery with gold. It is called kintsugi. When a bowl or cup breaks, instead of throwing it away or hiding the damage, the pieces are carefully joined back together with lacquer mixed with gold powder. The repair becomes part of the object. Visible, beautiful, a golden scar that tells the story of what happened. And the bowl is often considered more valuable after it has been broken and repaired than it was when it was whole, because now it has history, character, depth. It is no longer just a perfect object. It is an object that has lived. This is how Wabi-Sabi asks you to see yourself, not as something that must be perfect to be worthy, but as something that has been shaped by experience, by time, by everything you have been through, the difficulties you have faced, the losses you have endured, the mistakes you have made. These are not flaws that diminish you. They are part of what makes you who you are. And when you can accept them, when you can stop trying to hide or fix them, you discover a kind of peace that perfection could never provide. Because this peace does not depend on everything being right, it depends on accepting what is. Most people resist this. They believe that accepting imperfection means giving up, means settling, means not caring about quality or excellence. But this is not what Wabi-Sabi teaches. It teaches that there is a difference between striving for excellence and demanding perfection. Excellence is about doing your best with what you have, about care and attention and intention. Perfection is about meeting an impossible standard, about control and image and fear. Excellence allows for mistakes, for learning, for growth. Perfection does not. And so excellence is sustainable. It is nourishing. It leads somewhere. Perfection only leads to exhaustion. When you begin to practice Wabi-Sabi, when you start to look for beauty in imperfection, something shifts in how you experience your life. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you can enjoy it. You stop believing that your home must look a certain way before you can have people over. You stop thinking that you must achieve certain things before you can feel proud of yourself. You stop judging your body by impossible standards. You stop comparing your real life to other people's curated images, and you start to simply be here with what is, as it is, and you find that this is enough, that you are enough, not because you have fixed all your flaws, but because you have stopped seeing them as something that needs fixing. There is a kind of beauty that only exists in things that are imperfect, in the old wooden fence that has weathered gray, in the garden that has gone slightly wild, in the handmade object that shows the marks of its making, in the face that has lived long enough to carry the evidence of that living. This beauty is different from the beauty of perfection. It is deeper, more honest, more alive, because it is real. It has not been edited or curated or controlled. It simply is. And when you learn to see this beauty, when you train your eye to appreciate it, the world becomes richer, because you are no longer only seeing what is lacking, you are seeing what is present. This extends to how you see other people. When you are caught in the pursuit of perfection, you judge others by the same impossible standards you apply to yourself. You notice their flaws, their mistakes, their imperfections, and you distance yourself from them because they do not meet your expectations. But when you embrace Wabi-Sabi, when you understand that imperfection is not a failure but a fact of existence, you begin to see people differently. You see their struggles as human, their mistakes as understandable, their imperfections as part of what makes them real. And this opens your heart, it allows connection, it creates space for compassion, because you are no longer expecting everyone to be something they cannot be. The same shift happens in how you see your own life. Most people spend their time focusing on what is wrong, what is missing, what is not yet achieved. And so they miss what is actually here, the relationships that are working, the small joys that appear each day, the beauty in ordinary moments. They are so focused on the gap between where they are and where they think they should be that they cannot see the value in where they are. But Wabi-Sabi teaches you to look differently, to notice what is present instead of only what is absent, to find richness in simplicity, to appreciate the unfinished and the imperfect. And when you do this, when you truly practice this way of seeing, you discover that your life is already full, already beautiful, already enough. Not because you have achieved perfection, but because you have learned to see what is real. There is a peace that comes from releasing the need for everything to be perfect. a lightness, a sense of freedom, because you are no longer carrying the weight of impossible expectations. You are no longer exhausting yourself trying to control how everything looks. You are no longer living in constant fear that someone will see your imperfections and judge you for them. You can simply be, flawed and human and real. And this is not a resignation. It is not giving up. It is waking up to the truth that perfection was never the goal, that it was never even possible, and that pursuing it was only keeping you from living. Consider the natural world. Nothing in nature is perfect. Trees grow crooked, flowers bloom unevenly, stones are rough and irregular, the ocean is chaotic, the mountains are weathered and scarred, and yet we find nature beautiful. We seek it out. We feel peace when we are surrounded by it. Why? Because it is real, because it is not trying to be anything other than what it is. And there is a deep honesty in that, a kind of integrity. And when you can bring that same honesty to your own life, when you can stop performing perfection and start living authentically, you find the same peace that you feel in nature. You find the same sense of rightness, of being aligned with what is true. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become careless about your work or your relationships or your life. It means you care differently. You care about doing things well, about showing up fully, about being present and intentional. But you release the need for everything to be flawless. You accept that mistakes will happen, that things will not always go as planned, that life will leave its marks on you. And you understand that this is not a problem, it is simply the nature of living. And when you can accept this, when you can embrace it, you become more resilient, more adaptable, more at peace, because you are no longer fighting against reality, you are working with it. There is a simplicity to Wabi-Sabi that is deceptive. It seems easy to understand. Imperfection is beautiful, things age, and that is okay. But living it is different from understanding it. It requires practice. It requires you to notice when you are judging something for being imperfect and to consciously choose a different response. It requires you to catch yourself when you are hiding your flaws and to ask whether this is necessary. It requires you to resist the constant cultural messages telling you that you need to be more, do more, look better, achieve more, and it requires you to trust that what is here, what is real, is enough. You might begin by looking at your surroundings differently. Instead of seeing only what needs to be fixed or improved, look for the beauty in what is already there. The way the light falls across a worn table, the character in an old chair, the patina on metal, the irregularity in handmade objects. Train your eye to appreciate these things, to see them not as inferior to new or perfect things, but as having their own kind of beauty, a beauty that speaks to time and use and life. And as you practice this with objects, you will find it easier to practice with yourself, to see your own imperfections not as failures, but as evidence of your existence, of your humanity. You might also begin to question your standards. When you find yourself feeling inadequate, ask yourself where that standard came from. Is it truly yours, or is it something you absorbed from the world around you? From advertising, from social media, from other people's expectations? And is it serving you? Is it helping you live better, or is it just making you feel perpetually insufficient? Because most of the standards we carry are not helpful. They are not realistic. They are designed to make us feel lacking, so we will keep striving, keep consuming, keep chasing something that we believe will finally make us enough. But Wabi-Sabi tells us we are already enough. Not when we fix all our flaws, not when we achieve all our goals. Now, as we are, imperfect and incomplete and still unfolding. This is not passive acceptance. It is not about resigning yourself to things you truly want to change. It is about releasing the tyranny of perfection, about no longer letting the gap between where you are and some impossible ideal prevent you from seeing the value in where you are. It is about doing your best and then releasing attachment to the outcome, about showing up fully and then accepting what comes, about living with integrity while also living with compassion for yourself and your limitations. And this balance, this ability to strive while also accepting, to care while also releasing control, this is what brings peace. When you live with Wabi-Sabi, you become less fragile, because your sense of worth is no longer tied to maintaining a perfect image. You can make mistakes and they do not destroy you. You can fail and it does not define you. You can age and it does not diminish you. you become more solid, more grounded, more real. And ironically, this makes you more attractive to others. Not because you appear perfect, but because you appear authentic. Because there is something deeply appealing about people who are comfortable with themselves, who do not need to pretend, who can be honest about their struggles and imperfections, who carry their scars with dignity instead of shame. The world will not support you in this. The world profits from your insecurity, from your belief that you are not enough as you are. And so it will continue to show you images of perfection. It will continue to suggest that happiness lies just beyond the next achievement, the next purchase, the next improvement. And you will feel the pull of this, the temptation to believe it, to go back to striving for impossible standards. But each time you feel this pull, you can pause. You can remember Wabi-Sabi. You can look at what is real in your life and choose to see its beauty. You can accept your imperfections not as things to be ashamed of, but as part of your story. And slowly, over time, this way of seeing becomes more natural, more automatic, until one day you realize that you are no longer fighting against yourself, you are simply living, imperfect and real and at peace. If you found something here that resonates with you, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to The Quiet Path, not because I need you to, but because this space exists for those who are ready to release impossible standards and remember what it means to be human, to be imperfect, to be real. And perhaps what brought you peace today will bring peace to someone else who needs to hear it. This is about creating a quiet place in a loud world, a place where Wabi-Sabi is understood, where imperfection is honored, where you can rest from the exhausting pursuit of perfection and simply be, walk slowly, see clearly. I'll see you again on The Quiet Path.